Welcome back to Moonday Messages. The signs that this video is for you are in the screen and popping up right now. So the signs are a blue bird, 999, 888, a blue hand. It might be like, what I saw was when you go to a baseball game or whatever, it's like these gigantic foam hands that you put on to wave around or whatever, like that, something like that is what I saw. And then turtles. Okay, so when you see these signs, then this video is for you. If you see these signs after you watch that video, just come back and let me know in the comments that that's the case. And yeah, let's get into it. The sun moved into gate 37, which is the gate of friendship, which is in the solar plexus, which is like right here. And this energy is about harmony, community, and specifically the creation and maintenance of peace through effective communication and the establishment of strong boundaries. So it really is about fairness, trust, mutual respect, and just building friendships and connections and relationships with people based on these values. So basically based on all of the values that we all do value ourselves, but it is sometimes difficult for us to maintain them like towards ourselves. And this is why it is then being mirrored to us through other people. And then we're like, why can't I find aligned friends? It's because you are not a friend to yourself. Okay? Like that is not what the energy is about. The energy is about the community and harmony aspect in itself. But what I just said just was a download and just came through. So when you feel triggered by this being the energy right now because you can't seem to align with people that quote unquote hold the same values as you, that's because you hold the same values in your mind, but you are not showing God that you do by holding these standards and values towards yourself. So where are you neglecting yourself? Where are you not a friend to yourself? Where don't you love on yourself? Where are you rushing yourself? Where are you talking bad about yourself? Like all of the things that we do not allow ourselves to experience by not giving it to ourselves, this is exactly where God will then bring people into our lives that will do the same thing to us to show us that within ourselves is where we need to make the change, because everything is a mirror. Every person that you meet is a reflection of the imbalance or balance within yourself. Okay? So this week I really want you to get clear around that. Like, where am I neglecting myself? Where am I lying to myself? Where am I not showing up for myself? Where am I talking bad about myself? Where am I not loving myself? Like, I don't know why this is coming up again, but where am I rushing myself, right? Do you want to be rushed by your friends? Do you want to be rushed by your relationships? Do you want to be rushed by the people that you value and love? No, you don't. You want to feel that you can, like, even if it's about, I don't know, getting ready and you were a little late. Well, don't do this all the time to the same person, because that is disrespectful. But like when shit hits the fan and something happens, just let them know, hey, I'll be late for 10 minutes, and just slow down and allow yourself to get ready in peace, right? Where are you talking bad about yourself? Like when something happens and you make a mistake, like, do you hear yourself in your brain, in your head, talking bad about that? Like, oh, of course you did that again, or whatever. Like, these are the things where I want you to pay attention to. And every time you have awareness around these things, actually write them down so that you realize them more, because then every time you have awareness around them, you can start working against it. Okay, so more about that channel now, more about that gate that the sun moved into, gate 37. It's like harmonious relationships are rooted in the respect for individuality within the collective unity. I love that sentence of how it like brought it like all together. Let me say that again. Harmonious relationships are rooted in the respect for individuality within collective unity. So it is really, really, really a focus this week on relationships, which makes a lot of sense because we have a lot of shifts in the cosmos right now. We are just preparing, we are basically in the pre-shadow phase of Venus going retrograde. Venus is the planet of love. Venus is the planet of values. Venus is the planet of the femininity also, like womanhood and all of that energy, right? So, and it going retrograde on March 1st is for us to go within in order to reevaluate our values, the way we want to be loved, the way we want to love, what we want to attract in this field. And it's also about money, but it's more about the values that we hold around things in general, okay? So what came through when I was channeling was, I want you to be able to focus on rebalancing your nervous system, okay? Because we just had Mars in retrograde in Cancer, where it really, really, really doesn't like to be, and then it being retrograde, which it really, really doesn't like to be, because Mars is the planet of action taking, it's the planet of forward movement, it's the masculine energy, it's the planet of like doing things and getting things done. And it being in Cancer, which opposed to Mars being a fiery planet, Cancer is a water sign. It is very slow, it is very feminine, it is very like in receivership energy. So it slows down the Mars energy around taking action anyways when the planet transits the part of the sky that we know as Cancer. But then Mars being retrograde as well is like the double dose of slowing everything down. So a lot was very stagnant since beginning of December for everyone. We all felt it. And Mars just started its direct motion on February 23rd. But it still takes a little while of recalibration until Mars can actually move forward again. So forward movement will happen, but it's still slow. But it will happen more than it used to in the last almost 3 months, right? It will still be in Cancer, so it's still not 100% where we want it to be. It will move into Leo, which is a fire sign where it likes it to be in much, much more, I think by the end of March. So we still have, I think by mid-April actually. So we still have 1.5 months where it's still in Cancer, and it still is like everything is a little gooey still for like forward movement, but at least it is starting to move forward again, opposed to it being in retrograde the past 2 months. So it really still is very much the energy of being in the magic dark that I talked about in last week's Moonday messages, which is just really the energy of you did all the work around your manifestations, you did the unblocking, like you worked on the tests, you worked on the fears and the anxieties and all of the things that were connected to calling that bigger thing in, that manifestation. You were expanded enough because you were looking for people that have or do what you want to have or do, when you feel like, oh, if you can do it, I can do that too. That's the expansion part. And you have taken aligned, inspired action. If you can say yes to all of these 3 things and still nothing is happening, then you are in a magic dark. This is where God, the universe, is testing you to hold the vision and hold your value towards what you're calling in, to just really realize if you, or make you see and realize that you are really worthy of what you're calling in. Like you have to feel so worthy that the outer circumstances, even when nothing is happening, is not shaking that level of self-worth that you have established. Okay? So look for tests that are coming up. What tests are coming up around your manifestations? So when you're manifesting more money, you might actually get an unexpected payment. Or when you're manifesting a new partnership or a new connection, then you might be tested around in that area. Maybe your ex is coming back up, or maybe someone is coming back up that is holding the same energy around people that you have been in a relationship with prior, and you already know that that is not working for you, but that person is a little bit better than the last one, but is still holding very much that energy of the things that you actually do know you don't want anymore. That's a test. You have to say no. You have to like really go within and be like, no, I'm worthy of more than this. Okay. Another thing that came through while I was channeling is just what I heard was just figure it out. Just figure it out. Just figure it out. Find a way. Find a way. Find a way is what I heard. So what I want you to do is just sit down with the intention to figure out your next step. Like, you don't have to know it all, how it will come to you. It does not have to be logical in the way you are doing it. Just sit down, take a deep breath, and say, like, I'm going to figure out what to do next. And then just sit there and see what is coming through. Maybe you hear something, maybe you feel something, maybe you see something, maybe just like downloads into your brain. Maybe it will not happen eventually, like right away. But trust me, you will be surprised of how it will come up for you in the next 24 hours. But you have to sit down with that intention. You have to sit down with that momentum building within you of like, okay, I will get the answer of what I need to do next within the 24 hours. Even say that, right? And then just sit there and feel it. Okay? And then let me know in the comments. Come back to this video. Let me know in the comments what came through for you. I would love to know. Like, you don't necessarily have to share exactly the step that you need to take, but I want you to share that it works. Because when you do that, when you share that with other people, the momentum grows. The energy around it grows because it is being heard and seen by more people. And that brings more attention to that thing, which is more energy that comes to that thing. So, like, it will grow. And you will achieve it in a faster way. Okay, let's see what the oracle cards have to say here. Okay, God, what is it that the collective needs to know? What is it that we need to know for this week? Can you tell us a little bit more about the energy around relationships and friendships that we're moving into this week? What is it that we need to know? What is it that we need to know, God? Ooh, that was a lot of cards. Something else? No? That's all the cards? Okay. Okay, wow. Well, the first card that came out was overthinking. So where are you looping right now, my love? What is going on in your head that keeps you stuck? I think this is related to what I was saying of like the tests and the things that are coming up that I want you to write down so that you can get back to understanding what is blocking you and like realize your patterning around when you're calling something in and then the same tests are resurfacing. Because when you start writing them down, it's just like, you know, like you remind them in a more easeful way at a later point. And then when they are happening again, you're like, oh, wait a minute. I know this. What is happening? And then you can actually navigate it in a better way. Okay, so like, what is it that is looping in your mind right now that keeps you so occupied? Because, baby, you don't need to do that. I know it's easier said than done, but I want you to become aware that your head is overly active right now, and this is what keeps you stuck. Okay. The next thing that came up was blueprint. I want you to remind yourself of your blueprint because you are inherently worthy of all of the things that you are calling in, and God and the universe want to give it to you. You just have to allow yourself to see that you are worthy of it on a deeper level. So that's exactly what I have been talking about before. It's so interesting to realize when you are in that magic dark period, you will receive what you are calling in when you match the frequency of it. Okay, like you have to be strong around your boundaries. You have to be strong around what you believe you are worthy of, and say no to everything that doesn't match that. Okay, this is how easy as it gets. It does not mean that it is easy to do it. It doesn't mean that it's easy to translate it into the physical, but understanding that is pretty easy. Okay, and that's the first step. Okay, I'm here with you. I'm holding your hand while we are doing this. Why I tell you this, if you want to go deeper and actually work on this, I have capacity for one-on-one coaching, and my group coaching is coming up next month as well, which is at a much lower price point if you feel like that is more aligned with you right now. Also, all of my offerings that are on that scale are applicable to Klarna and the firm, so you can pay at a later point, you can pay in installments, so there are all the ways for you to make this happen for you. Okay, the next two cards came up together, which is roots and patience. Okay, so I want you to understand that you can only grow into the version of who you want to become based on how rooted you are within your values and how rooted you are in the things that you established for yourself. And that takes patience. Okay? You need to understand that everything you're calling in is on the way. It might not happen on the timeline that you want it to happen, but it is happening. And in the meantime, grow your roots. Right? Allow yourself to build the foundation that is necessary to hold the excess and extra energy that this manifestation is bringing in. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Let me know in the comments if anything, like always in every video, if there's anything that is unclear what I'm saying, please let me know in the comments. I'm happy to reiterate it for you, okay? But it is necessary, just like trees can only grow as tall as their roots go, it's the same thing for us. Our roots are energetics. Energetically, you have to know your value, you have to know your worth, you have to know your boundaries, you have to know who you are in order to attract what you want. Just because you logically understand what you want doesn't mean that your subconscious and your energetics in your body are there yet frequency-wise. Okay? You have to mirror back to the outside world that you don't just you can't just set your boundaries around people and expect for them to honor them. You have to be the one that honors them, which means that sometimes you have to take yourself out of the equation if a person is continuously overstepping your boundaries. Then it's on you to make a change. Okay? Patience, building your roots. And then on the bottom of the deck, obviously, we have community, because that is what this week is about. Okay? If you are in need of community, focus on this week. Okay? Call it in for yourself. But it also is the energy around that. Just remember that you are inherently a connector and a networker, because that's who we all are. Human beings are not meant to be alone. We're not meant to be in solitude for our entirety of our life. Sometimes it's necessary to be in solitude, but we are not loners. We are meant to be in community, okay? So just remember that that is inherently a part of who you are, okay? Beautiful. That was a very beautiful reading this week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Please help me grow the channel. I see you doing that. We have reached over 120 subscribers. I remember when I was excited about having 100 subscribers, and now we surpassed that. Thank you. Please continue helping me to grow this channel. Send it to friends, family, and members, and your enemy too, okay? And like and comment and subscribe. You are helping me so much to grow this channel, and I'm so appreciative of you. Okay, I love you guys. I see you next week.